Okay, I want to remind you, because there's some really, really good prizes. So I want to remind you to get those passports filled out with stickers by asking questions. I also want to remind you to fill out the evaluation form. There's amazing prizes, even a Samsung Galaxy phone. So you want to take advantage of that opportunity. And I would like everyone to come over here and to be able to watch our presenters, because we have some amazing speakers tonight and they have really great stories. But in order to do the stories, we're going to have to ask everybody to quiet down, please. So if there's talking going on at the tables, we're going to need you to talk lower so that you can hear our presenters. So I'm also going to ask the agency representatives to try to get it a little bit quieter, okay? So we have some great speakers. Today we're starting with a speech from a man named Dalu Ndlovu. Now I may not have said his name correctly, but he's got an amazing, amazing story. Can I get everyone's attention in the back there, please? Attention in the back, thank you. So Dalu is a young social justice advocate and unaccompanied youth who arrived in Canada in 2011, escaping persecution in Zimbabwe. Since his arrival, he has supported organizations like the University of Toronto, Canadian Centre for Victims of Torture, and the Metropolitan Community Church of Toronto in various social justice activities. This is all since 2011. Amazing. He aspires to become a human rights lawyer when he finishes his university career, which has just started this fall. Today, Dalu is here to share some of his experiences as an unaccompanied youth in Toronto. So I'd like you to help me welcome Dalu as he comes up here and speaks. Thank you.
Ladies, gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening to me. I'm a bit shy on stage, and I'll first start off with thanking very important people in my life. First, I'd like to thank the lady sitting over there. Her name is Sidonia. She has been very instrumental in my development since I came here in Canada. And I've worked with her from the time when I was suffering from anxiety, from depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, all those things. She was there helping me through with CCVT. Thank you very much, Sidonia. Thank you. So my name is Dalu Ndlovu. That's my full name. And I was born in Zimbabwe, raised in Zimbabwe. I come from a normal average family in Zimbabwe. My dad was a politician. My mom was also in politics. And I was also in politics as well as a youth. I'm still a youth, but yeah, I was also involved in the youth movement in my country. I since came to Canada as a refugee in 2011, in June of 2011. When I arrived in Canada, I stayed at Covenant House. It's a youth shelter. I stayed there for a year. Went from the emergency youth shelter section right through to the transitional housing section. And I moved out 2 months back. Now I've got my own place next to York University where I attend. My passion basically is people. I love people and I love being an advocate for people, standing for human rights, standing for social justice. I cannot stand inequalities that we experience in our society today. However, I can only make little contributions by doing youth events and standing up where I can, which I think us as individuals, we can do that in our daily lives. So my biggest challenge that I faced when I came to Canada was finding a home for myself, finding a sense of belonging, a place where I can feel it's home. Finding an uncle, finding my grandmother, finding my sister. I grew up in a farm, so I used to just then sit next to my grandmother's lap the whole day, watch the sun go down and up for a whole year, And I can't do that here in Canada. I have to work, I have to pay bills, I have to go to school. So I think one of the most important challenges that we are faced with as youth, especially as migrating youth, alone here in Canada, is trying to find that baseline, that base where we can grow. And I think it's one of the most crucial points that we need to look at. And how do we do that? How does one find home when you're like 16 years old or 17 years old in a foreign land? In a land where, unlike back home, communities are not valued that much, where individualism is the most important thing. It's about the next best iPhone or the next best BlackBerry, where I, as a person, I'm a number, I'm a number 9 in my social insurance. When I go look for a job, I'm not viewed as a person, but I'm viewed as a refugee. How do we begin to find a home in such places? I think it begins with people like Sidonia. It begins with people like you and me. We need to be able to accept other people and accept ourselves in the process. Giving back to another person. I mean, I've got many brothers here in Canada. Well, we might not be blood brothers, but they're my brothers. I've got one of them over there, Destin. I call him my little brother. That's how, for me, when I call him my little brother, it really comes from within me. I feel happy having a brother, knowing that I'm not alone, And it's important for us to find individuals within our community that can play that brotherly role, that can play that motherly role, or that grandmother role. Because we usually, speaking for myself, I come from a place where we had a sense of community. But it's hard to find that, and we have to strive that because we are human beings, and human beings are social beings. We're not brought up to be confined into our own individual thing, but the society today is pushing individuality, which is dehumanizing us. And to be honest, one of the main reasons why society is going that way is because they want to enslave us. We have to be isolated and work harder. And the only thing we do is go to work, go to school, sleep, go to work, go to school, sleep. We end up forgetting about our relationships and who we are as individuals. We don't get time to reflect on our own identity. Unfortunately, that's the way things are, but we can change that by creating a community of our own. The other thing that worries me is the whole idea of coming to Canada. When we are here, it's a great place with many opportunities. But also, we have to be aware of very certain things which are currently happening within our immigration system. For example, Bill C-43. Basically, this bill says if you're a permanent resident of Canada, you commit a crime of which you are sentenced for more than 6 months, you are automatically deported without having a chance to defend yourself at court or anything like that. So basically, a crime for 6 months is basically, if you're in a fight, you can be fined for you can go to jail for 6 months. If you are caught with a weapon, you can be jailed for 6 months. Yeah, some people might say, oh, why are you caught with a weapon in the first place? Why in a fight in the first place? But there are certain socio-economic issues that we are faced with as immigrants. When we come here, we don't own anything, we've got nothing. And some of us have to live in communities where it's not safe. And where some might even be diverted into criminality, not because of choice, but of circumstances. yes, some people might say, yes, we have choices in life. Everyone has got a choice. But trust me, when I was in a homeless shelter, at times it was scary. I remember the first night when I was at YMCA, and I was scared. It was my first time in a shelter. I was traumatized. I was scared. Had someone done something to me, I would have reacted violently because I was trying to defend myself. Then, according to this new Bill 63, had I done something, I'll be in jail. And then guess what? I'm back home. I don't know, I don't think this bill is fair, but that's my opinion. But the reason why I'm raising this up is to alert us, the youth, to be aware that we have to be really, really vigilant with what we do and where we are every day. Because we're not citizens, some of us, we're not citizens, and if something happens, we will be kicked out. So please guys, try our best to stay away from any criminal activities or anything that can link you to that, because there is no opportunity for you to come back here. So try to stay here for the 392 days until you can get your citizenship at least. Yes, basically that is one of my campaign. My other thing that I'm concerned about is schooling, the educational system. When you come here, I understand there are barriers to schooling where even if you go to high school, you might not be good enough, or you might not be academically so-called on par with the Canadian system. However, there are various reasons why, because in my opinion, it's a different curriculum. What is important, one of the ways that we can overcome that, I think we need to look at the transitional educational system, like the transitional courses that allow you to go to university or colleges through the transitional 6-month programs or 1-year programs, because at least those will equip you. Instead of you not going to school, you rather spend the extra 6 months and actually go to school, or the extra year, and get the support that is going to be to allow you to further your education. Because in Canada, without education, you're doomed. It's just the economy is like that. It's just we're becoming the States. So that's one of the things that I want to work on, and I will encourage you to work on. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to bore you the whole night. I'd like to thank you for listening to me, and I hope you guys do well. I hope to see you at university, and thank you very much.